Good afternoon, everyone. I'm hoping that this Facebook Live has loaded and the people that are following us and joining in can hear me. Thank you again for reaching out to Raising Special Kids this week. We have had such a good time, such a pleasure serving the families that have needed us. To start things off, I am going to introduce myself again, probably a couple times as people join in. Again, my name is Brittany Miller. I'm with Raising Special Kids, and we are currently starting off our Learning at Home Facebook Live. Today's topic is learning at home and its surrounding special education. This is part of a series I've had the pleasure of hosting called Here for Families, Here with Families. So I just saw that Facebook sent out a notification. So if you see that, join in. We need you and we want you to participate in this Facebook Live with me. Thank you, Claudia, for letting me know that you could hear me. You just never know sometimes with technology. So anyhow, again, the topic today is learning at home. And we just wanted to discuss schooling right now for our families and what that looks like. Again, my name is Brittany Miller. I'm a family support specialist. So part of my job is taking calls from parents all over Arizona who are needing help with special education, navigating state services, talking to someone they can relate to, and more. And we have a whole team of us here at Raising Special Kids that have the pleasure of doing that. So quickly, I just wanted to recap last week's Facebook Live. We focused on we're all in this together. I'm really excited that we had such great participation. At the time, I think we had about 40 viewers. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for saying hi. But it topped out at over 1,200 views post. So thank you for listening to our live broadcast, even if it was later. And I hope that you got some tips and tricks that are helping you cope during this unique situation in our lives. So last week, we kind of recapped what Raising Special Kids has been up to. We are business as usual. It may look a little differently. As you can see, I'm telecommuting in my bedroom office, and all of our staff around Arizona is doing the same. We are taking calls. We are adapting to this new online culture of work. We're having virtual meetings. We're creating virtual trainings, which you'll hear more about that as we get into this live session. And we're just doing what we always do, being there for families when they need us. So thank you again for joining. Again, the topic today is learning at home. So I thought I would start things out with just kind of recapping what special education and education in general looks like in Arizona right now for our kids. All of you are certainly aware that schools are closed. Distance learning is in full speed. Most districts started this week or last week, and parents are quickly having to adapt to becoming teachers, therapists, paraprofessionals, you name it, myself included. Our kids, our smart, intelligent kids, are working hard to get used to this new platform of learning. They are learning Zoom and Google Classroom and all kinds of different ways that their schools and their teachers are able to provide their education. We're hearing from families that it's hard, and it can be. I personally have 3 daughters. 2 of them are teens. Thankfully, they are adept at using technology thanks to their school and the things they've been previously taught. But we're still doing projects. One of my daughters had a STEM project we had to work on last night. We have a test. She has had PowerPoint presentations, and all of this in a virtual platform, as you know, is stressful for parents to navigate and to learn. My little one, who is 10, who has disabilities, she utilizes the Empowerment Scholarship, but we are doing teaching at home through her nurse, and then her teacher is setting the ideas. So balancing all of that as a mom, I can understand it's hard, and I'm sure a lot of our parents can agree. Working / being a teacher / keeping a clean house is a challenge, and I'm very impressed, and all of us at Raising Special Kids are impressed with the families that are adapting quickly to this overnight change, it seems, that we've had with our kids' education. Thankfully, we do have supportive state leaders who are trying their best to provide help for us. Governor Ducey has made some decisions about technology and ways that our kids can access their learning. Our superintendent, Kathy Hoffman, has been on board helping him understand what our kids need in this state for learning, especially during this world crisis. So we've been hearing some neat things from families. If you follow our Facebook page, which I hope you do, every week I'm doing a school shout out. And on that shout out, I am highlighting fun things and innovative things schools in our state have been doing for kids to help them adapt to home learning. In talking with families, some of the things we've heard are Zoom meetings. So, of course, many of you are probably familiar. Some of our kids are having conferencing sessions with their teachers over the computer and getting education that way. One of my girls is getting to have social time, and they have some peer setups their teachers have set up so they can socialize with their classmates, which has been super important, especially for my teens. We have heard children receiving their therapies via teletherapy, which is awesome, and we'll talk a little bit more about that soon. We have heard of some districts using enrichment packets, and thankfully they are able to provide those modified to reflect our kids' IEP goals. We've heard of teachers getting in their cars and social distancing through parades and driving by their kids' houses and through the neighborhoods that their students attend. And it's been heartwarming to see the love these teachers have for their students and how much they miss them. And I know the feeling is definitely mutual. So all of us are adapting and learning together. For those of you just hopping on, I've seen a few come in. My name is Brittany Miller. I'm a family support specialist with Raising Special Kids, and I have the awesome pleasure of hosting this Facebook Live. It is titled Here for Families, Here with Families, and today we're talking about learning at home and what that looks like. If you have a comment or something to say, please comment on the thread. I'm watching them on my screen right now as they come in. If you have a question, certainly ask it. I definitely will try to address it. As you know, special education is definitely individual, hence the individualized educational plan. And so if you have a really specific question regarding your child's services, definitely comment. If you give me permission, I will reach out to you and our family support team will call you and we will help you with those questions that you have. So to start things out, I have gathered, and I have my notes here in front of me, so I will be referring to them because I don't want to miss anything. I have gathered 5 top questions that we are hearing from parents this week regarding special education. So to start, the number one question that I personally have heard, and I've heard from my coworkers, is can my child's IEP be implemented during school closures? So let me say that again. Can my child's IEP be implemented right now during the school closure? And the good news is yes. As you know, schools are now providing distance learning for their students. And so because they're providing learning for all of their students, that includes children with special education. I'm sure many of you have heard from your child's special education team, and the teachers have already communicated with you, and you're starting that modified curriculum at home. If you have not, now is the time to communicate with them. If I could give you one piece of advice as a fellow special needs mom and as a family support specialist, is communicate with your school team. Right now, they know this is stressful. Right now, it's stressful for them. Many of them are parents, and they're trying to navigate their children's services as well. So having open communication with your child's teacher is important. So if you haven't heard from your school team yet on setting up your child's special education services, now is the time to reach out. If you need help or questions or want to know how to phrase things, call our office and we will definitely help you. Just real quick, and I'll say it again, but our office number is 602-242-4366. So please know we're here for you for your special education questions and anything else that comes up. So yes, IEPs can be implemented and it's happening all around Arizona right now, which is great. Number 2, how can my child receive their school-based therapies? Well, the good news is our governor recently approved teletherapy as a platform that our therapists can use. So we are seeing families Skyping their teachers using Zoom or Google Hangouts or all of those different platforms to have therapy services. Speech therapy, occupational therapy, PT, any of those things. If you want related services and they haven't been set up yet, communicate with your school team. Your school district will guide you on what their school district has decided to do to offer that service. But teletherapy is an option. And I have to say, I do, as part of my job, I manage our social media. And it's been heartwarming to see as I've followed, parent groups, and as a, special needs mom myself, all the parents that I'm friends with, many of these kids are having some great therapy sessions via Zoom. And so I'm so grateful for our therapists. They are working hard to keep our kids going and keeping them working on their IEP goals. So yes, if you are doing therapies with your children right now already, great. If your school has not set up those related services, call them and they will help you. Okay, number 3. So I have concerns about my child's online learning. Say it isn't going well. Say it's been really hard on your family. Say you're a parent and you're really stressed and you're not able to complete everything your child needs and it's causing tension in your home. This is real and it's happening. I know it personally, and I've heard from families. Most of us are not used to navigating special education. That isn't our degree. And as parents, we're having to adapt and learn. Most of us have jobs, and so we're trying to balance being an employee and being a parent and making sure our children get their schooling done. If online learning is a struggle for your child, you can reach out, and these are some things you can do. First, please contact your school team. Call them on the phone, shoot them a parent concerns email listing some things you want to discuss with them relating your child, and request a call. Our school, our schools, our district, our Department of Education, they want to help our kids be successful. This is an unprecedented world crisis that we did not plan on having to do distance learning for the rest of our school year, and our school teams want to help. So if your child is struggling, communicate. Don't wait till you're super burdened and overwhelmed, that there's tears and frustration, because I know it's happening. I've heard from families. It's happened in my own home, and I have felt the need to reach out to my kids' teachers, and they've made some adjustments and some modifications. I will say, from my perspective, it seems that schools are really trying to help parents just get through this time of crisis and help those students feel successful. You also can call us. That is one of the best parts of our job, is raising special kids. We get to help parents with special education concerns. Call us. We will help you. We will help you come up with verbiage to communicate with your team, ideas to express how your kids are struggling, and we will help you, guide you through that. Another tip I have is to write things down, collect data. So if you're noticing changes or regression or improvement or any of those things in your children navigating special ed at home, write it down, because the next time your team meets, that is information you want to share. And we know our school districts will work together with families to help those kids and to help our kids stay on track with their learning. So at that point, it really leads us into our next question. Can I request an IEP meeting right now? The good news is you can. They're happening all the time. Thankfully, due to technology and the world we live in, we can have virtual IEP meetings. So if it comes to the point where, after you've expressed your concerns to the team and you feel like you really need to have a meeting where you guys can discuss verbally, whether it be over the phone or in a platform like this, where we can see each other, that is definitely something you can do. Request it in writing. Writing is always good. Shoot them an email, and the school will get back to you. I am finding that a lot of schools are really trying to get in contact with their special needs parents and families to make sure they're being successful at home. So yeah, you can request an IEP meeting. And if you have any questions, again, reach out to Raising Special Kids. We're here to help you. The next question has been asked quite a bit. Can families request evaluations during this time? Yeah, you can. You definitely can reach out to your school district in writing and request an evaluation. Now, given our current climate, with the world the way it is, we're not quite sure how that'll look like for every district. But what I would suggest doing first, if you have concerns about your child's progress, whether you're a current special education student, whether you're a parent who suspects your child may have a learning disability, if you're worried about their speech or any of those things, and you feel like they need to be evaluated by your school district, send them an email and start the process. If you need help with that, call us. Our family support specialist can help you with how to word that email. I would definitely ask the district, though, when you email that, how they're implementing evaluations during this time of quarantine. Because, of course, they have guidelines from our Department of Education, but all of those districts are doing that differently, and communicating and asking how they're doing that will really help you as a parent decide if this is something you want to pursue right now. None of us, I do not know your kids. I don't know where they're at. As a mom, if I was requesting evaluations for my child right now, of course, I would be patient with the school district because they're trying to figure it out too. How are we going to meaningfully provide evaluations and assessments? If it would work virtually, your school district will let you know. But regardless, you can communicate with your children's teachers. For instance, if your child, you suspect they have a speech delay, ask if you can talk with the teacher. Ask if they can consult with a speech therapist in the meantime to help maybe create some goals or to work with your child via Zoom or another platform. Let your teacher know that your kid is struggling and you may need some modified curriculum. Definitely request that evaluation you're concerned about, and your school district will get back to you on how they're handling those. So if you have any questions, like I said, you can comment or call our office and we can help you with that. And then lastly, the last question that we've heard this week that has been really popular, we've heard plenty, but I only picked the top 5, is what if I don't have access to technology? So a lot of us thankfully have smartphones or computers, but many Arizonans don't. We are very blessed that our governor is working on solutions for that. In fact, this week he is, my understanding is he is finding hotspots that our students in rural areas can use, and they can allow children at home to access the internet that way. We have heard school districts providing Chromebooks and laptops and different ways that our kids can access learning. So if you don't have access to it, reach out to your school district. Some districts are choosing to do strictly packets or physical materials, and that's okay, but reach out to your district. And if you're having trouble accessing your kids' schoolwork or learning via technology, give them a call. They will help you. So I'm just going to stop real quick and read some of this commentary. So yes, Gabby, it is difficult. Gabby commented that she has 3 boys with special needs and she is busy trying to figure out this online learning. So Gabby, please reach out to us if you need help. We are happy to support you. And again, contact your teachers, your child's teachers, because I'm sure they will as well. Courtney, thank you. She replied that her daughter's school is using Google Classroom. The therapists are using that same classroom to leave activities for her to do at home. And she mentioned it's different, but it's happening. And yeah, it is different. We're definitely all adapting. So thank you for providing that feedback. And if anyone else has anything to share about how their child's special education services are being implemented right now, feel free to comment. So moving forward, I talked about the 5 things Raising Special Kids has heard the most this week about special education. Sticking to my outline, I wanted to share some tips from Understood. Many special needs parents out there probably have heard of this website. If you haven't, you should follow it. They have some great tips and information that special needs parents definitely would benefit from. So with the rapid school closures due to coronavirus, it has taken many families by surprise, and we all know that. Understood has given us some great ideas on how to prep our home environment to make it more learning friendly. So of course, most of us don't have a separate room or a separate location that we can create school, and we're also social distancing to keep our kids safe. So the first tip Understood gives us is 1, create a learning space at home. Does your child have a space to do homework? It's important to set up a quiet, clutter-free area so our kids can concentrate. For example, you could convert your kitchen table to a learning station. One of my daughters has our Costco fold-out table in her room with her computer with the door open, and she's able to have some personal space, but call out to me or my husband if she needs some help. In our home, we have a kid set up in the den. My little Brooke is in the family room doing her therapies. All of us have found a space, and it's been working for the last couple of weeks. So it's important to have your child have a specific learning space. Number 2, make a schedule and try to stick to it. I am fully aware that right now it feels like endless summer, yet we're trying to work and they have homework. Our kids are wanting to stay up late, they're wanting to be on social media, but having a routine will help everyone feel better. Create bedtimes. Make sure they're not on their phones all night long. It'll make them feel tired and frustrated, and it'll inhibit their ability to learn. Put a visual schedule. I had a family this week send me a picture of a bulletin board, and the mom, nothing fancy, had taken Post-it notes and had put schedules during the day for when they're going to do math or English or their related services, and then they had breaks filtered in with a fun activity or going on a walk. And many of those learning times are going to fit in naturally with your family's schedule, but try to find some order. And some days it may not work. Some days the schedule may not work out, but it will help your kids if you try to stick to a schedule and keep them on a normal daily routine. Number 3, reduce distractions. So this one's hard, and I admit it personally, it's hard for me. TV, social media, all of those things, computer games, toys, they're all around our kids right now, and they're trying to focus on their work. So limiting that time, unless they're using it, obviously, to access their learning will only help them. Something I've done with my kids, and they probably would not be pleased that I'm announcing this over Facebook, but I have used my phone and put some app limits just to limit their amount of time. You can also create periods of time where they can't access games, just so their minds are quiet and they can focus on schooling. And it's actually working, and it's been good. So if you have questions about that, let me know, but I've been able to navigate that a little bit at my home with my teenagers. Use a calendar, color code it. I already mentioned that. Understood also says you get plenty of exercise, and we know it feels good. Right now, we're all stuck in our homes and feeling, taking the responsibility of not going to public places, but also feeling stir crazy. And it feels good to get outside, go on a bike ride, go on a walk. Thankfully, we live in a world where we have technology that can help us with this. I have to admit, all joking aside, I am happy that I am experiencing social distancing in a time where Pinterest exists, where Facebook exists, so we can all share ideas. There are some fun platforms. One I can think of is called Go Noodle, where they have exercise breaks. I know teachers actually use this too in their classrooms. YouTube has great free exercise videos. I know Special Olympics, I saw that they were doing some things via their website. You can find it, it's out there. And honestly, some good old-fashioned walking around the neighborhood is good too. Number 6, see which accessibility features work for your child. This was kind of a neat one. That didn't come to mind right away, but most phones and laptops and other mobile devices have assistive technology. For example, read aloud or text to speech can help struggling readers. Speech to text can help struggling writers. So use what we have. Use that technology, and if it helps your student focus or your child slow down and listen better, we have access to that. And number 7, we've talked about it many times over this Facebook Live, talk to your child's teacher. Please do it. Let them know if things aren't going well, and they will adapt and help. The teachers are still working. They have school hours right now, and they're communicating with families and kids every day. So don't be shy. If you have questions or need help, reach out to them. And lastly, look for ways to remove learning barriers. So obviously, this is very apparent to us as special needs parents. We know that many of our kids have disabilities and struggles, and they need modified curriculum. So really work hard to communicate with your child's school, follow their IEP, and do the best you can. We just loved those tips. We know it's hard. Distance learning is not something any of us planned on, and it's hard to fit it all in. And then times that by how many kids you have, it can become a very crazy learning day. But I will say, as a family support specialist and raising special kids as a whole, we've been hearing some great things parents are doing, and honestly, some great things our teachers and school districts are doing to try to help us all adapt to this time of change. So moving forward, please check out our website, Raising Special Kids. We are daily updating this awesome resource page where we have resources, and I have it in front of me, and I don't want to miss the sections, so I'm going to read them for you. We have an educational resource link, tons of fun educational ideas, and it's been fun seeing some of our families do them, painting rocks, painting self-portraits of each other, planting a garden. We've seen families going on the NASA Facebook page and their website. All of their digital pictures are free. So if you want to see what a galaxy looks like from far away and some really awesome Hubble telescope pictures, go to NASA. All of these fun types of ideas, virtual field trips, you name it, we've been gathering on our Raising Special Kids COVID-19 resource page. We have mental health resources. We have activities for kids. We have current updates that are important from our leaders, government leaders, and the Department of Health and those types of organizations. We have a great section on how to explain COVID-19 for your kids with some helpful videos and some good verbiage we can use so we don't stress our kids out. We have a basic needs section and, of course, educational. So please check out Raising Special Kids website, our COVID-19 page. And if you have a good resource, call our office. We want to hear about it and we want to add it so we can share that with families. Stay tuned. We have a virtual special education class in the works. Our special education STAT team right now is working hard on creating curriculum for a virtual online training, and it's going to be relevant to the world we live in right now with special education. They are working on it, and we hope to release that soon. Our special education team is in communication regularly with our Arizona Department of Education and sharing feedback from families that we're hearing so that we can provide the feedback they need, and in turn, they can adapt to this ongoing and fluid situation. I just saw a comment come in. Thank you, Andrea. I'll bring it up. They are grading a little bit differently. One school teacher is providing weekly assignments on Teams. The other one is, let's see here, grading a little differently. It sounds like, Andrea, you're doing your best at home. Good job on doing that schedule. It sounds like every child's teacher is adapting to different ways of learning. But if you need help with any of that, you know who to call. Raising Special Kids will help you. And again, our number is 602-242-4366. Back to our virtual training. We have some trainings actually going on tomorrow. So please tune in. If you haven't checked out Raising Special Kids website, we have under our trainings and events calendar a training tomorrow on guardianship and on positive behavior support. They are virtual. If you go online and log in, we will send you the email link to Ring Central. It's a platform we're using, and it's really user-friendly and easy to navigate, and a live family support specialist will be teaching that class. So please check it out. We want to get the information out there to our families, and we are learning and adapting along with you. So check it out and stay tuned for our special education curriculum coming soon. That training is going to be really great. So to close things out, I'm trying to stay within a half-hour parameter because I know we're all busy parents, and let's be honest, we're probably back to school learning after this. I wanted to read you a letter that a principal in Arizona sent out. It's been going around social media, and it really was heartwarming, and I thought it would be really relevant to share just to wrap up our conversation today about learning at home. So I'm going to read it. So listen in, because if this was my child's principal, I would just thank my lucky stars. It's very heartwarming to see this kind of support, and I know it's happening in districts all over Arizona. Okay. This is my advice for those who have been thrust into schooling your kids at home due to the coronavirus shutdowns. You are not homeschooling. You are crisis schooling. Crisis schooling is stressful and can be trauma-inducing in some situations. Being at home all day is not our normal. Our kids are not used to being locked in their houses all day long. Children are grieving right now. They're grieving that loss and this change. Out of the blue, they've lost a lot. It is wonderful that so many classes are going online, but it's not the same. They have lost their in-person time with friends, their daily routine, and the predictability of life that gives us security. Honor that grief process. Don't expect them to jump into a perfect program and learn. Expect them to act out. Expect them to not want to get out of bed. Expect them to not have words to express their inner turmoil. You are grieving and experiencing loss. Give yourself a lot of grace. Even some of us veterans in education are struggling because our security has been yanked out from under our feet. Some of you have lost jobs, and some of your spouses have lost jobs. Those that are working are afraid of going out. Some of you have been to 5 grocery stores and still do not have what you need, still cannot find toilet paper. Our society has been turned upside down. Give yourself a break. It is okay to not be amazing. This is my favorite part. Don't try to be a Pinterest homeschool mom or dad of the year. Even the person that usually does things like that, even she or he is not that way all the time. And truthfully, there is at least one messy room in that perfect person online's home. Something has always got to give. Those perfect people online have the same 24 hours in each day that you do. From experience, I can tell you something always gives no matter how perfect people pretend to be. And I don't want the families in our district feeling inadequate as they're trying to adapt to online learning with their children. Don't artificially create busy work to do for school. Once they're done, let them be done and let them have a break. Do some fun things, or even crazier, have fun learning. If your school did not give you loads of books or worksheets, lucky you. Now you can read lots of literature and do hands-on learning. Find those moments. There's a lot of learning that does not end in a worksheet. Read, 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 read. Get crazy and ask your kids what they are interested in learning in and ask about that. If your child thinks the solar system is really cool, then read about the solar system and look up YouTube videos about it. Immerse yourselves in learning and make it fun and engaging. Don't put too much pressure on yourselves. If you do that, your day will fly by and it will go better for all of you. And she's wrapping it up. This wonderful principle says, life will go on if you are not stellar during a worldwide crisis. Maybe your best today will be to cuddle up with your kids and just be together. Maybe your best today is that everyone's fed and that you didn't cry in front of them. Maybe you did cry, and your beautiful kids showed their remarkable best by comforting you in their strength. It's okay and even necessary to be real with yourself about what is actually happening. A bomb did not go off, but metaphorically it did. Our lives may never be the same after this. If you crumble, honor it. I promise you, your children will learn. We all learn from life. And in closing, she says, blessings and love to all the parents who are taking on this huge challenge in Arizona and across the United States. Give yourself grace. You've got this. I believe in you. I have seen parents work miracles in schooling their children. Teachers, my heart goes out to you. You are also on a steep learning curve to serve your students in this time. It's okay for you to not be amazing. And I just love that. And I have to admit, I shed a few tears when I read that, but I kept it together for this Facebook Live. But I have to say, I feel like many educators in Arizona, I'm sure, can echo those feelings and wanting to support the families in their district. So in closing, I'm glad we could shortly talk today about learning at home and what it looks like for our kids right now. If your child is utilizing special education services and you need support and help, call us. We are here for you. Our phone number is 602-242-4366, and we're happy to help. Communicate with your teachers. Try to make your home a place of learning, but don't put too much stress on yourselves. And just know that we are here for you. So I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. It is Easter weekend, and so check tomorrow. You may or may not see some fun ideas on our social media page. That's a little hint to check it out on some of the Easter activities that I have shared that are virtual adapted. Sound really fun. Join us tomorrow for our virtual trainings, positive behavior support or guardianship. Those are posted on our website right now. We are finding so many ways to connect with our families, and we're happy to do so. So I'm going to sign off, but just have a good weekend, everybody, and thank you for participating. Stay tuned next week. I'm really excited. The next topic is about telehealth and what that looks like. So teletherapy and telemedicine. I'm going to talk about an appointment I had recently with my daughter, and I'm hoping to recruit a speech therapist to give us some guidance. So thank you for joining us, and have a great day. Bye.